Places, please. Places for the top of Theater Countdown.
You're doing the thing.
What? I'm introing us?
Yeah, right?
I always intro us. Remember how I never did, and then I always did?
But you forgot. You've been blocking out your intros. You were so proud of yourself when you did.
I know.
And then we were like, you've done it before several times. You're like, no, this is absolutely a first.
Yeah. Well, it's nice being me, having such a delicious short-term memory. Everything's new. Oh man.
Everything
Anyway,
old is new
again. Anyway, well, this is Theater Countdown.
Oh, which is both old and new.
Which is both old and new.
Yeah.
It's not borrowed or blue, but we'll get there eventually. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna hold my breath until I turn blue, and I'm gonna borrow this mug that's next to me and not give it back to my boyfriend, who's currently hobbling around because he broke his foot this week. But before we dive into personal stuff, yes, This is Theater Countdown. I am Michael Judson Barry.
Right, and I'm your Broadway buddy Ben Cameron.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad to say that I have survived. If you tuned in last week, you knew that I was in a cabin in the woods for a brewski. And the longer I was in that cabin, the more I felt like I was in a horror movie. But I didn't die. I survived. I'm here to tell the tale and do the countdown.
We're so excited about that. Did your guy hurt himself snowshoeing?
No, he made the mistake of exercising. He went to a kickboxing class on Monday, which I told him. I was like, this sounds like a perilous journey. You might as well climb Everest. I don't know what you're thinking. And he came back hobbling, and then a day and a half later found out that, yes, he in fact broke his foot.
Oh, was this a one-off kickbox class? He's not like a Taibo expert?
No, he is an avid gym goer, which I do actually, I will say, as someone who gets to see him walking around, I appreciate and encourage. But no, this was his friends were like, come to this kickboxing class with us, give it a try. And he gave it a try.
And was he actually kicking people?
Not to my knowledge.
Or bags?
He was kicking a bag. And then it wasn't even like through anything super spectacular, I guess. Like he literally just stepped backwards and like stepped on something, on a weight just on the ground, and rolled his ankle.
Yeah.
And he was like, ow, but then kept continuing on with the class, kept kicking
the bag.
Yeah. As we understand, the show must go on.
Yeah,
you know. And I ask any proper chorus girl, she'll tell you she would do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And by the end of it though, he couldn't put any weight on it, and now a day and a half later, found out it was broken.
But isn't that the way it goes though? It's never the big fancy grand hazoo that's going to get you. It's always like not the kick in the bag, not the tour jeté, not the flying flipsy doodle.
Yeah.
It's just stepping to the back. When I broke my foot doing Footloose the musical on the tour, if you think of all the athletic crazy nonsense that we were asked to do in that show, survived all of it. You know what took me down? A pony.
What?
The pony? The pony.
Oh, doing a pony. I thought you meant a literal pony. And I was like, Clara, the pony kicked her. Here.
It was the third National Night on Equity. We were doing it in a barn in somebody's farm, and a pony got loose.
It was a site-specific Footloose.
Yeah, pony.
Oh, pony,
Right,
pony,
right.
like Richard Simmons.
Well, yes, like Richard Simmons or the entire cast of Hairspray.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's what did it.
Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't the flying leaps or the turnings or the kickings. It's the little stuff that'll take you out.
It's always those moments.
Yeah.
Oh man, speaking of kickings and turnings, how was your adventure down south?
Oh, I was Savannah, Georgia was lovely. I saw the inside of a convention center. I watched.
Glad that ended with convention center.
Yeah. And I sat there for about 15 and a half hours. But you know what's fun?
Ooh.
And just a little insight, this has never happened before. So it just so happens that there is a dancing studio in Savannah, Georgia, that I have gone to teach at before. And at some point last year, I went down and choreographed a couple numbers for some dance studios.
Yes.
Yes. And the dance studio number that I had choreographed, because it's not a conflict of interest because I'm just emceeing. I'm not judging, right?
Uh-huh.
And the judges said, no, And the number that I had choreographed won the top prize.
Oh my! So you're prize-winning Broadway buddy, Ben Cameron.
I'm an award-winning choreographer, among other things.
Oh my goodness! Among other things.
Among other.
Wow! Congratulations.
You know, it's something. It's an honor I'll remember for as long as I can.
Great.
And it's never happened to me before, but yeah, I dip my toe in that world still occasionally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, well, congratulations.
Well, it's all right. Thank you. But I guess I needed that.
You're welcome.
Or else I wouldn't have told the story, huh?
Well, that's true. I mean, if I was a psychologist, we could like delve into that further.
But also, this is what makes me a great actor as well, is that I understand that part of the character, and the character is me.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was very deep.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed.
I'm an artiste.
You an artiste with a capital E. You are indeed. With
ARTEST.
ST. There's a lot of E's in artiste.
Artiste.
Yes.
And you've got great diction. See, this is all show business know-how right here.
Oh, thank you. I've had many a diction class.
You've had many addictions?
Diction class. Ironically, I couldn't say that.
No.
Diction class. Yeah, so I would hope so.
Weird that the diction class comment was the one I didn't understand.
That's the thing that you couldn't. And it's funny, I actually worked really hard on that because I'm from Syracuse, New York, and we have a really unfortunate accent.
What is the Syracuse accent?
It's sort of like Canadian, but also Midwestern. So, like, I have an aunt whose name is Mary Berry, but I would say Miri Beery. And I'm from Syracuse, and I went to Christian Brothers Academy. Like, sort of, it's not a pleasant accent. So I actually worked very hard to try and, like, iron that one out.
I think a lot of the accents that happen along the eastern seaboard aren't that pleasant. I hate to break it to Boston.
Yeah.
But it's not as delightful as you may think.
No, or like Pittsburgh.
Oh gosh, Pittsburgh gets really weird. I had a friend in a show once who his way to describe a Pittsburgh accent was he would say, "Stop squirshing the broad."
Oh, squirshing the broad?
Stop squirshing the broad.
Oh no.
Which would be squashing the bread.
Oh, I thought he was just pressing on a woman.
Oh, no. I was saying, quit squashing the bread as if we were shopping. But what did you think was happening?
Squishing the broad. I thought you were saying squashing the broad. And I was like, this poor woman who, like, just wants to live her life.
Why you gotta squash her?
Oh, my gosh. Or that's like,
Let her live.
Let her live. What's it in Baltimore? The thing that's like flute, the boot, and the wooder. That you say if you're from Maryland.
They really have it deep.
You flute the boot.
Yeah, flute the boot.
On the wooder.
Yeah. And in Boston, you park the car.
You park the car in Harvard Yard.
And
in New York, you're walking here. Like
Right. Oh my gosh, we're so good at this.
We're really good. We
should
have a podcast.
Alone, we're not much, but put us together, we're Cate Blanchett.
Oh, yeah. Watch out, Cate Blanchett. Mm-hmm. Oh, I wish. A friend of mine just was on a flight with her, and he was like, it was magical. Yeah, because I shared, did you see she and Kate Winslet were just on Graham Norton? And they were talking about Sheebies. And
Sheebies?
It was the first time I've seen those two women, like, on a couch together. And I was like, why has no one made a movie with the two Kates?
Yeah.
Like, or a play. Like, they both do theater. Like, why has Broadway not created a show? Like, some sort of Chekhovian drama for the two Kates.
Moscow.
They will go to Moscow in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And and then they both got really excited about a thing called a shiwi, which is like a cup that you wear under your underwear and you can point the hose if you're a female and you have to pee standing up or sitting down or really in any position, but you have to sort of point the pee.
When would this come in handy?
I think really anytime. They both seemed very excited about these. I think if you're like at a concert or like a crowded space or like in the woods, I don't know. I'm a guy, I don't know. Like
maybe if you're in Cats.
Or if you're in the show Cats. For Kate Winslet, it was for a movie where her character had to wet herself, but in a very specific way. And she, as great as she is, she couldn't position where it would go, so they had to use a shiwi. So they could choreograph her urine.
Just when you thought she was the real deal.
I know. That's why she only has one Oscar.
Yeah.
And Cate Blanchett has two.
She can pee on cue, on Target.
In Target.
At Target.
Oh man, this is going to some lovely places, this conversation.
Okay, we should talk about the show that we're doing. We're doing a podcast. We're here to talk about theater countdown. And guess what?
What?
We want you all to subscribe to this show, this Theater Countdown show. We want you to subscribe to the show. We want you to follow our show on social media at Theater Countdown on all platforms. Theater with an R-E because we're sophisticated ladies. Oh, yeah. So you want to follow us there. Tell everybody all about us. Write a review, rate us and review us. Rate us and review us.
Yeah, do that. Tell us how great we are, or what you really think.
We're still holding on to we want to read these reviews out loud, but you're slacking, people.
Yeah, let us know, please, for their love. We want to do it in a Pittsburgh accent
or a Baltimore's accent.
Yeah, we just want to squash abroad.
Poor Broad. And if you really love us, which how could you at this point of the show, but if you do still love us, you got to join us on Patreon because that's where all the really fun stuff is happening. Bonus episodes we see on social media so often when people will comment on when we do social media talking about what's on our countdown lists, and people are like, well, what about this? 9 times out of 10, good listener friend, we have talked about it. It is mentioned. It just might be in our special bonus episode for our Patreon family, and we probably talk about it at length, so you should get in on that. Also, we do a monthly meetup for our friends on Patreon. It's $5, my gosh. Just do it.
Yeah, honestly, just forego the iced coffee this week, or today.
You can get an iced coffee for
that's so true. You can. Yeah. It's going to be at least $5.49. So honestly, chilling with us is cheaper, and I promise just as stimulating as a cup of coffee.
Absolutely. We'll be a reason to get out of bed.
Yeah, that's why I'm drinking decaf right now, because I don't even need it, because I'm here.
Yeah, and I'm drinking kombucha for a healthy gut.
Good for you.
It's got 9 billion living probiotics, and that sounds like a lot to me.
That sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
All right. Today's exciting.
It is. We've had to. Oof. The thing that I thought was going to be easy but wasn't is counting down our top roles and
the top characters, right? And what has come to my mind is this deep dive, this research has led me to believe that there are a million shoot-offs and tangents into other countdowns that we can do based on characters. Because once again, top 10 is just when you're a theater nerd like we are, it's so difficult. And then the shame and the regret and the guilt that you feel towards Bobby from Company is just
it was crippling. Tough. It was so real this time. That's why I almost walked off into the woods. You never would have seen me again. I felt so bad this weekend after the last one because I stood by those top 5, the 10 through 6. I was like, yes. And then we finished and I was like, no, what have I done? I left out this person and that person. And what was I thinking? But in the moment, they were great. I don't know. I still stand by them as great choices. But I think there were just too many. And my brain just, it just scrambled. Well, and I wandered off into the woods. But it was 9 degrees and I got cold. So I came back.
But at least you did. Yeah. Not everyone does.
That's true.
Come back to the 5 and dime.
That's true. And then I did that stereotypical thing and caught a cold. So I'm so sorry if I'm really sniffly. It's the first day I feel human again.
I feel like you sound resonant.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I do know some singers that are I do my best singing when I'm kind of congested.
Yeah.
Which I was like, huh.
All that mucus goes around and just all the sound bounces around inside your head and makes you sound like Jennifer Holliday.
Yeah, exactly. That was the key. She just was sick the entire run of Dreamgirls.
She is sick. That performance was sick.
'Twas. Anyway, and we have a guest today, don't we?
That's the exciting part. That's the exciting part of it. Yeah.
Who's our guest again today?
I'm so excited. It's Tory Vagasy is our guest today. Who we know and love from, she was a finalist on America's Got Talent, and she does all the fun theatery TikTok things that you all know and love. And she's a hell of a singer. I know her I met her at the Broadway cons, which is Broadway Con. That's just an Aussie time way of saying it. The Broadway cons. Broadway Con. And I'm excited to hear her top characters and see how confident she is.
She feels like a very appropriate guest. As I just said, I wandered off into the woods in the freezing cold. And I feel like the thing that I first saw her do was Into the Unknown from Frozen when she did it on America's Got Talent. And it felt so sort of perfect.
Oh my
God. I was
God.
surrounded by birch trees. It was so cold. And I was like, what am I going to do? And in my brain, she was singing Into the Unknown.
Do you do that in your life? Because I do that
Walk
in
in
my
the
life.
woods?
Well, yes, you obviously have, and I like to do that as well. But sometimes I will find a song or a show tune that I will associate with my human experience at that time. So I would absolutely, if I was walking into the woods feeling a lot of feelings about which characters to choose for my countdown list, I would absolutely be singing Into the Unknown
Oh.
under my breath, or quite frankly, in the woods out loud.
Oh, it was fully out loud. And the other,
Yeah.
beer drinking skiers on this experience were like, who is that?
Yeah. Do you know my story about skiing? You maybe don't know this, but maybe I said this last season. But it was one of my favorite moments with a stranger I've ever had, and I'm desperate to find this person. But a couple years ago, I was in Utah with my family on a ski trip, and I had gotten off the ski lift, and I was ski, and I was coming down. And all of a sudden, somebody goes zipping past me, and I swear to God, this person was singing Starlight Express, Starlight Express. They were singing Starlight Express at the top of their lungs while skiing down the mountain. And I gasped, and I clutched my poles and my proverbial pearls, and I was like, "Where my soulmate is on the mountain, but I've got to find them." So I did the Facebook post. I was like, if you were skiing on this mountain on this day and happened to be singing Starlight Express at the top of your lungs, I have to find you and probably marry you.
Yeah. And that's what's happened?
Or no. Or
and now you have recycling in your bed.
Did you think about this? Did you think maybe it's such a me thing? Maybe it was me and we had like an interdimensional time thing, and maybe it was me. I'm the only person I can really think of who would do that sort of thing, because I said I do that when I ski too. If I'm on the mountain alone, I will absolutely sing out loud to
Top
myself.
of my voice. And same when I'm on a motorcycle. Yeah.
How often are you on a motorcycle?
Pretty frequently. I have
What?
one. Yeah, this rises
You have
a lot
a
of people.
motorcycle?
Yeah, my dad used to race motorcycles, so I kind of grew up with them.
You grew up loving theater with your dad and riding motorcycles?
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. No, that's the one that people always don't see coming, when it's like one of those introductions, like "What's your name?" and something about you people would never guess, and I'm like, "I'm Michael, and I have a sport bike." Yeah, it goes very fast, but it's really fun to sing show tunes at high speeds into your helmet on a motorcycle. I highly recommend it, but also while skiing. So I'm wondering for you, like, if you just proved that time travel exists,
I think
future you came back to give yourself some kind of a message, and only you would know what that means.
I think that's what happened. It's very Back to the Future. What do you know? Who else likes motorbikes?
Who?
Lena Hall, Tony Award winner Lena Hall, loves motorcycles as well. She wants to be on a motorcycle. She wants to wear a helmet, and I'm sure she's singing a show tune.
1,000%.
Wait, can we talk about this? Because now I'm thinking about Lena Hall, who played Audrey in Little Shop off Broadway. They just announced today that Jinx Monsoon, multiple-time RuPaul's Drag Race winner, who had that fabulous run in Chicago, is going into Little Shop of Horrors as Audrey.
I love this.
I'm
so excited. Today. Yes.
What is happening? She's doing that, and she's going back into Chicago in the summer.
Yeah.
So did she just have a couple months, and now she's the queen of Broadway?
Yeah, she's the stunt casting queen now. She's a stunt queen. And I love it. I'm curious to go back and see it. 'Cause I loved Little Shop, by the way, this revival. But I saw Joy Woods when she played Audrey. She was originally an urchin, right? And then she came back and played Audrey, and she was so good. I've
seen the video of her singing Somewhere That's Green, and there she's got tears in her eyes. And now she's got tears in her eyes. She's starring in The Notebook.
Yes, and she's the main reason I want to go see it, to be quite honest, after seeing her in Little Shop. I want to see it for a lot of reasons. I'm sure it's great, but I just was so blown away by her. I would watch her read the phone book at this point.
Yeah. Jinx, and they're about to announce whoever Jinx will be playing opposite too. And it looks like they've been doing this thing where it's like it's a blacked out like silhouette of a body, and it said somebody's coming back. Is that true, Danny? Is that what it is? It's Corbin Bleu and Jinx Monsoon. Wow. That's a meeting of the minds that I think would be incredibly interesting.
Wow.
From what I know of my Jinxie, and from what I've heard about Corbin Bleu, I think this will be a riot.
That'll be fun. Ooh, good reason.
Which is to say that I've just heard that Corbin Bleu is like ultra professional.
Yeah, and Jinx is like...
And Jinx is a wild
just
woman.
gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
But Jinx, I don't know. I'm so excited. Wait, can I cut back to the skiing real quick?
Yeah, I wish you would.
We're just gonna go all over the place. This episode brought to you by ADD. I was just thinking, I was like, if you, and people like, let us know in the comments or write us in, if you were skiing down a hill, which would you rather have ski past you? Somebody singing Starlight Express or Gwyneth Paltrow? Like, I feel like, and that's a real, which one to you just feels more treacherous? Like, somebody belting not just any show tune, but Starlight Express specifically, or just Gwyneth Paltrow, just gooping past you. Like,
you know what, though?
Which would freak you out more at this point?
I'm not sure I can prove that it wasn't Gwyneth Paltrow.
It might have
skiing
been.
past me singing Starlight Express. She's
For all
clearly
we know.
into speed and recklessness, and maybe that's what Starlight Express suggests to me. So I'm going to say if it wasn't Future Past Me, it was Gwyneth Paltrow. Wait, what other songs need to be sung while you're skiing? Just really quick. If you had to give me a couple songs that you would sing while skiing.
Oh, God. Well, it really depends on the mood. Like, Into the Unknown, I think, is a pretty obvious one.
Great.
And I'm pretty sure I have done that, as well as Let It Go. Really anything from Frozen.
Absolutely,
just feels so appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I'll sing literally anything while skiing. I think it just, you know, sometimes it's just you see something and the mood just hits. How about you?
I would sing, well, obviously, I would sing Being Alive. If I was on a mountain and I was having a really, like, visceral hippie moment with the mountains and the snow and the wind, that would make me feel alive. So I might have to belt out some Being Alive. Or let's see, I might sing Moving Too Fast.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The last 5 years. I've got
Flying from Peter Pan. I'm flying. Just only if you're on a hill with a lot of moguls.
Yeah, which I would not be.
I'm flying. Like it would be something like that, you know.
Followed by Splat. All right, good. Well,
That's
drop
a
it in
fun
the comments. Yeah. What's another? Well, give me one more. Fun moving past.
Everybody's Girl from Steel Pier.
They call the wind Mariah.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah. I don't know well enough to sing it, but all right. She's whooshing. Our guest today is whooshing into the countdown, like Gwyneth Paltrow in Starlight Express. I'm very excited. I love having our guest here. Okay, let's bring her in. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's Tory Vagasy. She's here.
She's here. Hello. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Hi, Tory. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I am thrilled.
Listen, Tory, all we're doing is we're just talking theater. Like, this is what we would be doing anyway.
I do this all day, every day. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But you do it in such a completely fun and kind of inclusive way, for which I, as an older theater kid, I marvel at you, all you kids with your social media savvy, and how you're able to like bring people in with the karaoke game, and how you really kind of make it interactive for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Although I am a little sad you're not in a bathroom at the moment.
I know. I should be. Might be a little too echoey, but I love it. I live for the acoustics.
I think that was such a fun idea, I gotta say.
So wait, so
fun.
So talk to me about that. Talk to me about like how we got into saying I'm gonna do this for the kids, for the theater kids out there.
Yeah.
And which angle did you start with?
Yeah. I SparkNotes version joined TikTok during the pandemic because, like everyone, we're bored. Yeah. There's nothing left to do. Yeah. And especially as a theater kid, what else am I going to do except sing all day long? And of course, my parents were not thrilled. They love it, of course, but you know, when your kid is singing all day long, it gets to be a point where you're like, okay, this is a lot of singing. So there was a public park near my house that had this great bathroom. And every time I walked in, I was like, wow, these acoustics are fire. Like, this is great. And I was like, you know what? What if I just brought my little laptop here, brought my little speaker into this public bathroom and hope for the best? And I filmed it. I thought, because I always learn a lot by filming myself and then listening back. So originally I started it just for me. But then I decided to just put it on the internet, see what would happen, and people loved it. And what I really loved about it is it inspired people to do the same thing. It inspired people to sing. Everyone's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to sing. And I thought that was super special. I created this like hashtag on TikTok, hashtag like bathroom singer, hashtag Broadway in the bathroom. It was crazy, but it was so heartwarming.
Aww.
How far into that did you realize you had like really struck a chord? Like how fast did people latch on to that?
Yeah, they honestly pretty fast. It all, combined with the acoustics and the songs I was singing, people loved it. And I was probably only doing that for, I want to say like 4 months until America's Got Talent saw one of the videos and was like, hey girl, what's going on here? Do you want to audition for the show? And I was like, of course.
Yeah. And then you went on and hit it out of the park, I gotta say.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You were phenomenal.
Thank you. It was so fun, being a theater kid on a show that isn't primarily for the theater kids. So I felt like I had a responsibility to myself for everyone, to prove that we are just as worthy as any pop singer, in any industry. So.
Mm-hmm. And you picked my favorite song from Six, so I was thrilled, personally.
Thank you.
But I respect that a lot because you're one of the few people who gets to get out there and showcase our side of the vocal
right
pyrotechnics and all of that, because we all know from American Idol and all this, but it's always it's a little too Broadway, so to be unashamedly theatrical. It is, right? And I think that's why people relate to you so well, because I think the authenticity shines through.
Thank you. I try. I think that's the best part of the internet, is being authentically yourself. That's what people want to see. So
1000%. Yeah.
Also, and I was saying this before you walked in the door, you're just a hell of a singer.
Thank you.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah. My God. So God smiled.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. A lot of hard work, I gotta say. I really tried.
Wow. You can you would never know, because it just seems effortless, honestly. You open your mouth and it's just like...
Thank you so much.
So talk to me a little bit about when you're not doing it into everyone's phones and into everyone's life, about your stage life on stages.
Yeah. Wait, what exactly do you mean? It's like... being a working actor.
That was
being a working actor.
Such a fun way to phrase that question.
Right.
Absolutely mean being a working actor. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love it. At the end of the day, it's what we all want. Singing to your phone is a blast, but at the end of the day, being on the stage is where I feel alive. I love it. I love sharing, a part of who I am through another character entirely. I think it's so special. I love connecting with people. At the end of the day, like, that connection is unlike anything else. You can't find it through anything else. And I've been very blessed to play some of my dream roles this past year, and I had a hell of a time doing it. And yeah, I feel very blessed, very lucky. And I think younger Tory never would have saw it coming. And at the end of the day, I made her very, very proud. So I live with that.
That's beautiful.
Would you say is Elwood your favorite role you've played?
Oh, yeah. That was always... You ever have those dream roles that you're like, this is my dream role, but it's never going to happen? And I never in 1,000 years would have saw that for me, getting a chance to actually do it. So that was really a dream come true.
That's awesome. Yeah, how often does that, how many people get to say that?
Right,
Truly.
Exactly. It was such a blessing.
So that's really special.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm still saying if I ever got to play that, it would be a dream come true.
Same.
I'm still
I'm rooting for you. You got it. I believe.
Oh, girl, I'll get my walker. I'll be over in 20 minutes. All right, can I put you... Go, Michael.
I was going to say, you have a game for us, don't you? That was not planned or prepped, that you're just springing on us. So, Tori, I am with you in that I am now terrified. I'm sweating.
Strap myself in.
I'm a schwitzy mess. What is this game, Mr. Cameron?
We are, and it feels like this is a good game that we should be playing on a countdown show. We're going to play Twister, musical theater Twister. What does that even involve?
Good God.
Every color represents a different composer.
Right.
Right foot Sondheim.
Left foot on Schwartz.
Let's put on Schwartz again. All right, we're gonna just play. I'm gonna force upon you a round of Broadway Beat the Clock, and it's very simple.
Ooh.
So we're gonna put some time on the great big beautiful clock. Ding, there it was. And let's say I'll give you. Is 30 seconds too long? I don't know. Gonna give you 30 seconds, and maybe I'll change it up if it's too easy. 30 seconds. I'm gonna give you each a category.
Oh God.
And you've got 30 seconds to name as many things that fit in the category
Ooh.
as you
excited.
can. The goal being to be the one who gets the most. All right.
Okay.
Woo.
Michael, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Please.
I'm going to terrorize you.
Great.
Rooting
Because
for you.
that's what I do on the show. All right.
That's why I
We've
keep
got
coming back.
30 seconds on the big clock, and in those 30 seconds, I need for you to name for me as many Stephen Sondheim musicals as you can. On your mark, get set, go!
Company, A Little Night Music, Sweeney Todd, Anyone Can Whistle, West Side Story, Gypsy, The Frogs, Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, Merrily We Roll Along.
Woohoo!
What else did he write? He's got so many. Here we are. That new one. We are here. Here we are.
And time. That looked like to me that you got 9.
Whoa.
Sure. Oh, I got
10?
10. I got
Did
two
you get
full,
10?
I got 2 jazz hands.
2 full jazz hands.
Uh,
You got a 2 jazz hand rating. The judges would have also accepted Passion. The judges would have also accepted Pacific Overtures.
yes. The Peas. I didn't. get
You
that.
didn't think about the Sondheim Peas.
I didn't. Funny story. I was
sake.
in a 3-person Passion once. And so I really should have gotten that. And then I met Marin Maisie, and I was like, I just did a 3-person Passion. And she just goes, why? It was great. And then I was like, fair. And I walked away. Karen Ziamba came over and she was like, it'll be okay. And I was like, thanks, Karen.
Wait, where were you? Where were you that all
was
these people were just running around being snarky? with you?
Williamstown Theater Festival. That's where you
that'll
go if
happen.
you're Broadway famous and feel like being snarky for a day.
Absolutely, 100%. All
Yeah.
right, Tori.
Okay.
Oh God, I have to admit, I'm a little nervous. See, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have been able to answer that at all. Maybe I'm
No?
a fake. No, I'm a little bit of a fake theater kid, kind of. When
Okay,
it comes to
all right.
If it was Pasek and Paul, I also would have been at sea. We all have our composers that we
Ooh.
love.
All right.
okay,
well,
be
I'm
easy
gonna-
on me.
I'm not, but okay. But you know that you are loved and worth it. All
You
right.
are.
We've got 30
just
seconds on the big
smile.
clock. We need you to name for us as many Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals as you can.
Oh,
On your mark and
okay.
set, go.
Phantom of the Opera, Cats.
Correct.
This is already being rough. Come on, Tori.
You got this.
Cats. Suddenly, I don't know. Oh. No, this
Oh.
is sad for me. Oh no.
No, that's totally fine. It's when you're under the pressure of the clock, your brain
Right?
literally just stops. So believe me.
Love never dies. Woo!
Yes, there we go.
Oh my God.
Um,
That time. Oh wait, are you still on the clock?
I don't think so.
Time is up.
That
Time
was
is up.
sad.
Okay.
But
That
I
was
know
sad.
what is absolutely
Don't
not
worry
sad
about it.
that is that even though your brain farted under the pressure, you came through with "Love Never Dies" of all things. That's the Andrew Lloyd
Yeah.
Webber.
No one claims it, but I
You
kinda
got
live for
10
it.
bonus points for that one.
The
so
judges would have also accepted Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat,
Mm.
Jesus Christ Superstar, The Sunset Boulevards, by Jeeves. But now listen, but I'm deeply, deeply
Jeeves.
dirty. Now, I think it's only fair that you guys give me one. So I can feel
God.
the pressure too. Right?
Okay.
Don't you think?
yeah.
Oh wow.
You guys can talk together about what you want to put me under.
Tori, what do you think? Is there a category that springs to
Oh
mind for you?
God. I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna let you lead this one.
She's like,
I'm
I
a little
didn't
blank.
sign up for this.
No, I'm
That's
the
totally fine.
realistically like I'm the girl at Mike Shack. They're like, say your line from the show, and I'm like, suddenly I don't know the show, so that's why my brain goes blank.
What show are you referring to?
What
So this
lines do I have?
Have. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, inspired by Legally Blonde, let's do musicals based on movies.
Oh my God.
I
Okay.
love that.
All right. Tell me when.
Go.
Legally Blonde, Sunset Boulevard. Oh my gosh, I do this all the time. Beetlejuice, and also Hairspray, and also The Notebook. That's new. And also The Lion King, and Aladdin. I think this is cheating. And Mary Poppins, and also the one that we all love so much. That was the movie that we thought that would be a great musical, and then it was, and that was. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
You were talking about Tootsie, right?
I was Tootsie.
No.
Wow.
Well done. I didn't even think to go the Disney route. That was brilliant.
It was
That
my
was
saving
good.
grace. I feel like it was a cheat all the way, but
Because
there
the
we
hard
are.
part with that category is there's just so many that
Right.
your brain just stops.
Yeah,
My first thought was Heathers, and then it stopped right there.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
went Mean
Heathers.
Girls. That's it.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, so good.
Well, and everything else that's come out in the last 5 years.
Yes.
God damn it!
Exactly.
Except for the last 5 years.
That
Okay, well, there it is.
was fun.
I think so. Who was our? So I think Michael was our champion. Well done, Michael.
Thank you.
I begrudgingly congratulate you.
Merci beaucoup. Well, shall we? Because I don't want to wait any longer. Shall we
No,
dive
we
into
gotta
your? Tori, I'm so sorry. The torture continues.
Fine.
With your top 5 characters in
Okay.
musical theater.
This
Okay.
is. Did you find this really tough, Tori?
I did. And
Yeah.
last minute, I had to bump someone out that I'm like kind of really sad about. But
Isn't that the worst?
I know if I get in
Yeah.
like an honorable mention, there's a clear honorable mention, but
You can flip it.
didn't
over.
make the cut.
We know this pain.
Right. It was hard.
Every time. It's so hard. Did
Yeah.
you feel any? Wait, I just need to know because I always saw this at Juddy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel any guilt towards the characters that you love that you're not putting on your top 5 list?
Yes.
Do you feel like you need to
because-
write them a note?
Right, a little bit. I'm like, hey, girl, I love you so much. You
Yeah,
didn't make the cut.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
We all
what's
agree.
Your number 5.
Okay.
I'm so excited. Let's do it.
Wait. Let me pull it up on my phone.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we want you to count them down from 5 to 1 in
Okay.
descending order.
I didn't have that prepared. I just have a list. So let me think about who's
so
at
you'll
the
follow
top.
your heart. What is
Right.
that?
Absolutely.
And follow your heart. That's from something,
Ooh.
right?
Okay.
It's got to be. Sounds
I think
like
I can pick a
something.
5.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, 5 came to me.
We
I'm gonna
believe in
go
you.
with number 5. Roxy Hart from Chicago.
Oh,
good one.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I'm so glad one of the Chicago ladies is here.
She needed
What?
to make it.
Yeah. Why Roxy Hart?
Okay, first of all, I think the Chicago movie is brilliant. It's like one of my
Agreed.
comfort movies. Fun fact. I watch it all the time. I think it is the perfect. I love a story, and you're gonna find this trend with most of the characters I picked, of someone who knows what they want and gets it, especially.
Uh-huh.
And she's so smart. I think a lot of people are like, oh, she's just pretty. And no. She's smart. She worked her way she evaded murder. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I think she's so cool. I love the song Roxy, like her little monologue. I think is brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I just think she's a badass. And yeah, it's definitely like a role I would love to play, specifically for the acting elements. I think she's a rock star. She's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's really fascinating. I think that's an excellent choice. I've done an interview with Charlotte Dembois and Bianca Marroquin and Emma Pittman, all three together, talking about playing Roxy, and it's really interesting. It's another one of those characters that I think, as you just kind of said, that we don't give enough credit to.
No.
As
Ugh,
far
she's
as far as the smarts and as far as the complexity,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
'cause she's
And-
the one that really is the one that wants,
Right.
in that
She
show.
gets it, you know?
Yeah.
And she'll appear in a lavalier that goes all the way down to her waist.
All
Yeah.
the way down. Ugh, she's the
Yeah.
coolest. And she looks
Yeah.
hot doing it. And I'm like, there you go. Best of both worlds.
Yeah. Her and her baby and her.
Also, I
well,
agree with you. I think we've counted this down before, I think last season, but I agree with you. I think Chicago is the best movie musical that's ever been made.
yes,
1,000%.
yes, thank you.
Done, hands
It's
down.
it's the gold standard.
It is.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah. All right, number 4.
Number 4.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I get
so
so
hard.
excited.
I know.
I get so excited.
This one hurts me because I do want it to be higher, but I'm gonna put it at 4. Okay. Number 4 is Miss Lola in Kinky Boots.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not
Oh
Lola
my
from
gosh.
Damn Yankees.
No. Miss
Different
Kinky
Lola.
Boots. Oh my gosh. I
Great.
adore that show. And it's funny, a lot of these roles are not it was really hard for me to separate favorite roles in all of musical theater versus roles that I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lola. I love Kinky Boots. I think it is the most heartwarming story. And I just admire, she stays true to herself the entire time. And I love the scene between her and Dawn being like, accept someone for who they are. I think it's so powerful and so beautiful, especially the second act of that show. Just, I'm a mess. Not My Father's Son, brilliant song. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And what's her second act 2 song that I just love?
Ooh, that big
You know
Hold
the
me in your
one.
heart.
Yes.
Hold me in your heart.
Oh my God. I'm a mess every
Ah.
time. Full tears.
So
I think
good.
it's one of the most powerful songs ever written. She's the coolest, and I love it. I love it. Another person who gets what they want and is fabulously dressed doing so. So,
Absolutely.
Done
There
and
you
done.
go.
Who could ask for anything
Over
more?
and over again.
oh yes,
Uh,
oh yes.
Launched 1,000 Billy Porters.
Yeah.
Every Billy Porter that we see now is launched from that.
Exactly.
Well done. Okay,
Oh,
excellent.
good one.
Okay.
All right, number
Do I need
3.
number 3?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It's become a sports event.
It really is. It feels like that. The
Yeah.
pressure's on. Number 3. This is also a fun fact. My number 1 favorite movie of all time, comfort movie. This one I really watch like every other day. And it is Miss Dolly Levi in Hello, Dolly.
So
That's my girl.
good.
That
So good.
another strong woman dressed fabulously who knows what she wants.
Yeah.
But God, I think every monologue she does in that show has me on the edge of my seat going, yes, yes. Oh, she is the coolest. And that she knows what she wants. She's so smart. All her songs are brilliant. I love, my favorite song is When the Parade Passes By. It makes me cry every time.
Yeah.
But everything she does is just so perfect. It's perfect from beginning to end. She fabricates this entire scenario out of nothing. And then the whole time she's like, I'm going to get my man. It's going to happen. And she does. And
Yeah.
I love
Look
her.
out, Miss Malloy.
Right.
Like-
Look out, girlfriend. Goodbye. You're on to the next. But
That train is coming to town.
right,
I like
right.
I like this metric for a character too. Like somebody who goes in knowing what they want and gets it. I don't mind telling you that was also in my top 10.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
we get it, Ben. We get it.
We have already had a proper gush on how much we both love Dolly Levi.
Yeah.
She's the
Hundo
best.
Hundo P.
Yeah.
Yes. What a queen.
I don't know what that means. Hundo P.
Neither do I. I'm trying to fit in.
Trying to fit it. You're fitting in. That was great.
She's so young and hip, and I want to be cool.
And we're here being the cat's pajamas.
Absolutely top drawer. This is a top drawer podcast.
Here we are.
No, you guys
Oh,
are top
man.
hip. Love it.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay. Number 2.
Oh my God, I can't take it.
This one's
Pressure.
hard because, ooh. No, I have to follow my gut on this one. Okay. This one, just to know, is hand in hand with number 1.
Okay.
But the other one beat it, and you'll know why.
Okay.
When we get there. Number 2, I'm going to put Aaron Burr in Hamilton. And slightly because I just rewatched the filmed version yesterday. And I was sitting there on the edge of my seat every time he came
Perfect.
on the screen. Again, I have the same trend. Another person who knows what they want gets it. He's so cool. Room Where It Happens every time is so fascinating to me. And, especially in the OBC, like the acting is just through the roof. Like Leslie Odom Jr. gives me full body chills every time. I think his performance was absolutely brilliant. it's such a fascinating character from the beginning to the end, because although he's like the villain, he's not. It's such a well-written part that you really like Aaron Burr. Even he's cool. He's really cool.
Absolutely. That was floating around in my mind as well.
Oh yeah.
But that is the first on your top 5 of that is kind of visibly a villain. I like that.
Yeah.
Which who doesn't love a good villain?
I love a good
Although
villain.
he's a villain in the way that like Salieri's a villain in Mozart. Like really, is he a villain, or does, as you said, is just a person who wants what they want, and it just happens to be that our hero is that because they are the hero of their story.
Yeah, it's true. I love it.
I didn't think we'd talk about Salieri today. I'm very excited about that.
You're welcome. Oh man. Okay, that was wonderful.
There is, hold on, I just had to look up though. Is there a Mozart musical? And I just looked it up, and there is an Austrian musical that was written in German that's Mozart the musical. But I don't know if it follows the film and the Salieri of it all. Okay, moving on.
Okay. Number one.
Okay.
Okay, I know. This is hard. This is really hard.
This is hard, but also you're going to be like...
clutching moment.
A little bit. But knowing me, obviously, I had to give it to my girl, Miss Woods herself.
All right.
Are we surprised? No.
No, well, you know her well.
I know her
You
well.
should know.
I see, besides from her always being a dream role, I see so much of myself in her. It is the story. It is the ultimate feminist girl power story. Her whole life, people are like, this is this bubbly, pretty girl just making her way through life, probably like daddy's money, doesn't need to try hard in life. She's just going to be a model. Even in the movie, they're like, you can just be like what did they say? Like a Playboy bunny or something. Like be a model and that's it. And she's like, no, I'm worth more. And like she does it to prove, like ultimately, she does it to prove it to herself. Although at the beginning, it's to get the man. Ultimately, she proves to herself that she loves it. She loves being a lawyer. I also love Emmett. They're like they're together as like number one. Elle and Emmett, I think they're just the coolest.
That you've just inspired a whole other countdown. Best Broadway couples. Love interest.
Add it to the list.
I think we just found out who your number one is. Yeah.
They're the coolest.
Great.
They support each other unconditionally, and it's beautiful to see, he fully supports her and like sees her true potential, and like together they prove it. They prove it, and I love them.
They take it on.
Yeah.
I love this. That's
my
a
girl.
fabulous first choice, I think.
She's so much better than before. How can
She's
I
so
not
much
pick
better.
her?
And she's not wearing that. She's wearing this.
That's why.
Like, can I tell you my Legally Blonde dream, which anyone listening, please don't steal this before I have a chance to write it. It came out of a cabaret idea I had called Tertiary Characters. But then I decided this is the best. I want them to write a follow-up musical called Courtney's Break. And then the tagline is, no, she has not been well. And it's all about Courtney on her break and what led her to try and deceive Elle.
My God.
And it opens with that song where they're like, just ignore her, she hasn't been well. And it goes, psst, and you cut to her in the break room, and she's like, no, I haven't been well.
Oh my
This
God.
is my dream. And
Is
you
it
need
like
to
a
play her.
villain
This will be
story?
her when we finally do this. Yes, it's a total villain story.
I'm down.
Oh my God.
It's a tight 90 minutes. Courtney's had a day from hell, and she's going to relive it for us. And you too would try and scam Elle. And you know what? And as she walks out, she's like, flip stitch on China pucker. Like,
Wow.
So,
wait,
and she'll belt in the rafters, so it'll be perfect role for you when we finally get around to doing it.
Thank God.
I just have a quick question. Does Courtney, does she work on commission?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's a lot of it.
She
too, I
needs
guess.
that money. And if I have a whole backstory for her as to why she needs that money. Girl is in trouble with a capital B.
Oh God.
Tori, this is your next star vehicle. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, be ready. Courtney's Break coming 2026.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you, Michael, for trusting me with your vision. Thank you.
I've been waiting actually to have you on the show to announce it because no one else can play this part.
Oh.
There will only be moments before and after this. That's how life
That's
will be
one of the
defined.
songs from it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Tori, you're rad. Thank you for counting down with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. That was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. But
Isn't it just a nightmare? It's a nightmare.
Right.
It's rough.
But it's the
rough
most
stuff.
fun nightmare ever. So.
Oh, yeah.
You're terrific, and everybody,
Thank you.
make sure you keep up with all the million things that Tori is doing on social media.
Yeah, let everyone know where they can follow you, where they can keep up to date, where they can, keep up for news, so they can find out where they can come see you.
Absolutely. All my social medias are Once Upon a Tory. It's like Once Upon a Time, but Tory at the end, I like to say.
right.
So,
I love that.
yeah, come
Perfect.
hang.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thanks
you
for
Tori.
being here.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for having
You
me.
too.
Bye-bye.
I like her. I like her.
I would go into the unknown with her.
I respect her choices.
Uh-huh. That
respect.
belt would guide us to wherever we're going.
Well, she's got one of those voices that, like, any song that she sings will be my favorite song because she's singing it.
Uh-huh. But interesting choices. I loved it. It was, one of those, I was like, I hadn't thought about. Yeah, anyway.
And I understand them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I was just like, I'm just old. Like, that's what was going through my head.
I'm counting on you being old for this countdown because I'm counting on the countdown. I'm counting on you being old for it because I'm pretty contemporary, but not entirely.
Okay,
All
good.
Right.
Yeah, I was so hoping. I think I know which ones you're going to pick, but we'll
You
see.
do?
We both keep surprising each other. There's just two roles in particular that I'm just counting
think-
on you to say.
All right, and I'm counting on you to say one too because I think I'll be crucified if I don't include one. But
Yeah,
there's only room for 10. All right,
let's do it.
All right, I'm going to start with a red hot recap of my first.
Yes.
So at number 10, I put Elphaba Throp, the Wicked Witch of the West from Wicked. At number 9, I put Dolly Levi. She's a hoot. I want to be her best friend.
Yes.
At number 8, I put Frank-N-Furter. What the hell is going on? It's the most
Nobody
fascinating
knows.
character ever. At number 7, Eponine. She dies so beautifully. She's your best pal. She's here for the party. At number 6, Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd because she's the mastermind behind it, and she's a humpy, horny weirdo.
Amazing.
All right.
And then real quick, mine. Number 10, Lady Tiang from The King and I. Shout out to all the supporting characters, but such a deliciously complex side character. Number 9, the entire Dicewith family from A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Shout out to our character actors out there. Number 8, Maureen from Rent. Such a fun, gritty, over-the-top character in such a rock musical, which is fun. Number 7, Peggy Sawyer from 42nd Street, just because it's such an iconic thing at this point, because people can be. And then 6, Mame from Mame. I think for all the same reasons we love Mrs. Lovett, but she's just not evil. She's just eccentric. But she's one of those wonderfully over-the-top, delicious middle-aged ladies that we love.
Aspirationally eccentric.
Yeah. Another Angela Lansbury original.
Yeah. Always the right time.
Exactly.
Although who was I talking to I was with a friend last night who was saying he keeps trying to watch Murder, She Wrote, and he said he can't get into it because he thinks Angela Lansbury's a bad actor on Murder, She Wrote. And I just won't, not that I have watched a lot of Murder, She Wrote, but I just won't entertain the idea that Angela Lansbury's bad at anything at any point. So
Exactly.
Poo-poo, I say poo-poo.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Let's do this. We can do
Top
this.
5. Can we?
I think we can.
We have to.
We might lose some sleep, but we'll do it.
All right. Number 5, best character.
Best character
is going to Fräulein Sally Bowles.
Yes. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you got a cabaret character.
Sally Bowles, the arc, the journey, it's so complicated. And I think if you were to watch Cabaret as kind of a layman and maybe not an actor, you may kind of miss the whole point of Sally Bowles, which is all kind of encapsulated in the song Cabaret, where she's literally singing about having an abortion and is she going to do that? And it's so dark in her refusal to get on board with the reality of the situation, and that she would rather live in this frothy place for as fully damaged as she is than even really be able to do the right thing ultimately. It just is so interesting and so deep, and she gets these equal parts these showpieces, the Don't Tell Mamas and the Mine Hairs, but then she has Perfectly Marvelous, all of that is in there too. fascinating. Sally
Yeah.
Bowles is my number 5. And she's one of the most coveted roles in the theater canon, right? For sure.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
ladies.
1,000%.
Everybody wants to play Sally Bowles.
Yeah.
Green.
There's something about green characters, isn't there?
Yeah, green. From the nails down.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
I love that idea. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm just sitting here listening because I just am nodding at everything you're saying. I think when I think cabaret, I think the first character a lot of people are going to go to is the MC. But I think Sally for sure is the more complex character. And I think also for what's going on in the world at the moment, it's such an interesting character. Like I'm kind of glad cabaret is coming back. But yeah, I think you're right. There's a reason that everybody wants to play her. And she gets, you're right, in that song Cabaret, which is such a genius song. And it's so well just like sums up her entire journey. Because you have to play, it's hard because she goes through so much, but then she just refuses to acknowledge any of it.
Right.
Until she just cracks.
That is so complex, though, to continue to be like, haha, no, not affected. No.
Yeah.
This is what I've chosen. I've chosen to be so free.
Yeah.
That no one can escape the weight of the world around you.
And it puts her up there with like Holly Golightly, like those kind of like really great characters that do the same thing, that are just like, I refuse to see reality in front of me.
Oh my gosh.
And life will be a party, whether it likes it or not.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to a little Fräulein Sally Bowles.
Yes.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret.
Fräulein Sally Bowles.
Sally Bowles. All right, number 5 to you, Juddy.
Okay, my number 5 is, I like to kick these off with supporting characters, apparently. Anita from West Side Story.
Sure.
Because this was where it was actually between Anita and Charity from Sweet Charity. Because I was thinking of those like triple threat roles where you have to be able to really do it all. But I think between those two, as fun as Charity is, I think Anita weirdly is sort of a meatier role. And more proactive in a lot of ways. You know, she pushes a lot of people in that show. She has to be a really fierce actress, but she also has to be able to sing her face off, and she has to be able to dance like it is nobody's business, because she has America, which is perhaps one of the most famous dance songs of all time. Yeah. And she has to be able to do all three in that number. So as well as everything else she has to do in West Side Story. So I think that role, if you are a true triple threat, that just must be so much fun. You know,
it's the ultimate pay dirt if you're a triple threat lady, and it's one of those roles too that you touch it, you win the award, right? We've now had 2 actresses win Oscars for playing Anita. We've had an actress win a Tony Award playing Anita in more recent years. It's that good a character, and she is kind of a driving force in midst the chaos in there. But she gets to chew the meat off the bone.
So yeah,
I've never said that in my life.
No, but Anita probably would.
Yeah, absolutely. She's ordering a T-bone.
Yeah. So which song would you think for Anita? Because my instinct is America, but that's mostly orchestral.
Let's do a little A Boy Like That.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah. Let's get to it.
A boy like that will kill your brother. Forget that boy and find another. One of your own kind. Stick to your own kind. A boy like that will bring you sorrow. You'll meet another boy tomorrow. One of your own kind. Stick to your own kind. A boy who can...
Ugh. My God.
Forget that boy. Find another.
Find another. That's one of those, if I had a time machine, I would go back and see Cheetah do it. I can only imagine.
He'll murder your love. He murdered mine.
Yeah.
Come on. She's not messing around.
No.
Yeah. All right. Anita, good, because that was definitely on the periphery of my countdown list as well. So I'm happy that you put it in there. Now I'm having a very, very difficult time with number 4, and I have 2 things written down here, and
Yay, me too.
I just don't know which way to go with it. But I think it's tricky because once again, we love the ladies, and I think the female characters in musicals tend to really rock my soul a little bit more. So although I do have as a potential number 4 Judas Iscariot from Jesus Christ Superstar as one of the top 5 greatest characters in musical theater, as a narrator, as the main conflict, I'm going to forgo Judas Iscariot and choose Effie White.
Oh, yes.
From Dreamgirls.
I am so glad you said that.
She's cocky. She's loud. I'm not sure that I would be friends with Effie White, but the underdog come from behind.
But she is telling
desperation. She said she's not going.
She's not going.
Let's be very clear about where she will and will not be going. She's not.
Exactly. Yeah, with Google Maps or not, she ain't going.
Absolutely. So, she gets that Act 1 closer, and then she gets to come back and hit us with the I Am Changing. And now, whenever they do it, they've added Listen, which was the song that Beyonce sang in the film. They've added that into the current production that was in London, that will hopefully come here, where she gets to sing that with Dina. It's part of the score now, which is a really powerful moment for them to connect.
Which is so beautiful. Sorry, I just zoned out for a second thinking about that song. Which you probably shouldn't do in a podcast. Dead air is not a good thing.
But everyone's doing it. Everyone's singing that song right now.
We all were there together in that collective moment of brief silence of just,
she's
for that song.
She's such a powerhouse. She's such an underdog. She wins.
Yeah.
She's powerful, and she is also, I think, to be a great musical theater character, I think you have to be complicated. And for a lot of them, some of them, like Dolly Levi, I don't know that she's as complicated as she is just wonderful, kind of, at the end of the day, in a lot of delicious ways. But for a lot of them, like Sally Bowles, or Mrs. Lovett, or Frank-N-Furter, she's a complex character, and not all facets of Effie White, I think, are good necessarily.
Yeah, I agree. Like, she's her own antagonist in a lot of ways.
She absolutely is. But the payoff, you're rooting for her so hard.
Yes.
So let's hear I Am Changing.
Yes.
My apologies to Judas Iscariot.
Oh.
Seeing everything so clear, I'm changing. I'm gonna start right now, right here. I'm hoping to work it out, and I know that I can. But
I can only do 10.
But we can kind of like shout out the other ones. Anyway.
We do it all the time. We do it all the time.
We cheat so bad on this show.
Well, it's our show. We'll do what we want.
Exactly.
All right, number 4 to you.
Oh, okay. Well, that was wonderful. Okay, so I had the same problem with number 4. I'm pretty set on my top 3. 4 was the one, and number 5. 4, I also have 2. So this was old Hollywood, kind of, is where these ended up. So I'm gonna kind of do what you just did, is cheat a little bit. My 4B, the one that didn't become number 4, was Norma Desmond from Sunset Boulevard, who's just, because I mean, come on, if you want to play over the top in raw insanity, how much fun is that role?
Yeah.
But that led me to one of my all-time favorite shows, which I've talked about before, is 9. And so I'm going to say the role of Guido in 9 is actually my number 4.
Wow.
Because not as many people are familiar with Guido, but I think it's that fun sort of lavish old Hollywood world. But I think the difference between why he nudged out Norma is he doesn't, she's broken from the get-go. He doesn't break until the end. So he's a man like beginning the show like on the cusp of a nervous breakdown. Like he's hitting 40, he's full midlife crisis. He doesn't know where he's going. And then his mistresses, his wife, everything sort of converges on him in this one film that he can't do, and he's absolutely drowning, and he just implodes as a person. And he has that great breakdown song.
Lord knows we like that. We want you to break down.
Yeah. So I love it. He's one of those characters who tries to have it all, and it all is just too heavy, and it actually absolutely smashes him. So I think, and to throw a male character in there too, which I kind of wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because this could all just be divas. But I think this role checks a lot of the boxes that some of these other great like female characters do. So
and he is such the nucleus of that, where he is kind of this constant, and we get to watch him reflect off of all of this the influence of all these women in his life, and that's really fun.
Oh, and believe me, I have had moments in my car where I felt overwhelmed and like the world is too much, and I put on this. Wait, now I'm blanking on the name of the song. It's the like I can't make this movie song. He's like, I can't make this movie. There's no way that I can do it. And he's just like, help me, mama, help me, someone. Like, it's so, if you're like in a tough spot, it is so satisfying to do a terrible Italian accent and just yell, help me, mama, help me, someone.
Help me, mama.
It's I'm gonna find the actual it's I Can't Make This Movie is the name of the song, and it's just it's so satisfying,
as it should be.
Yeah, shall we listen to a little bit of that? So little Antonio Banderas losing his mind.
Oh my gosh, finally.
Not since Charlie Chaplin has there ever been a film director like this. Guido Contini. Everything he does gets world attention, whether it's a hit or a miss. Guido Contini. He writes the script.
This is someplace I have never been.
Just beautiful. You should be sick more often. That's really that resonance. Thank you.
Okay, on to numero tres.
All right, I'm going to throw in some dudage here as well, and I don't think I have to talk a lot about this because I think this is just one of them. This is where we talk about characters that are just good and just have the kind of a value system and the material within the show to knock your socks off. Don Quixote. Don Quixote from Men of La Mancha.
Oh, thank God
is
you said this one.
Absolutely one of the
so
great
glad.
characters. He's my number 3. He gets to sing those incredible songs, and we know how we feel about that score.
Yes.
And he refuses to back down and accept defeat in his quest for goodness.
Yes.
For goodness. And it's fun and juicy because it's the play within a play thing, so you get to have a little fun with that as an actor, I think. But vocally, it's so delicious. Back when we used to write for baritones, R.I.P. baritone roles, and he's everything to aspire to is in Don Quixote. And I think too, beyond even the musical Man of La Mancha, Don Quixote is kind of, if anything, he's kind of the spirit animal of everything Spain and Spanish.
Yeah,
I mean, truly.
Yeah. And sort of in a lot of ways too, I think like the personification of just hope and positivity, you know, and obviously, you can't go to Spain and not run into something Don Quixote related, but you know, every time you see a windmill, you just run at it.
Absolutely. And we shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Otherwise we'll never know.
Exactly. Good choice.
He gets knocked down, but he gets up again.
He does. He's the ultimate I was so hoping you were going to say
He's
him.
the ultimate tub thumper. Don Quixote. Let's listen to
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote. Hit it.
Living now that we cannot bear the world, now a pitch-handed watchsteps can be. And the knight with his banners all bravely unfurled, now hurls down his gauntlet to thee. I am Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha, my destiny calls him.
Yes, he is. Even when Linda Eder is playing him.
Which I love.
Excuse me. It is a great version. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Okay. My number 3 I'm actually really excited about. Because this is another, might seem out of the box, but I think this is an amazing role, is the 2 Edie's from Grey Gardens.
Oh!
Big and Little Edie. Christine Ebersole won a very much well-deserved won the Tony for this role. I believe they made up an award to give to her for this performance. She got a special citation from the mayor, for acting. If you didn't get to see Christine Ebersole in Grey Gardens, YouTube it. There are clips. It's pretty magical. But I think this role is great because it's 2 for the price of 1. It's 2 really great roles because you play Big Edie and then it jumps and then she plays her own daughter in the second act. And I think it's really fun for an actress because Act 1, she's this perfect put together, almost period piece, right? She has her beautiful gowns and she's this clipped, Hamptons, socialite. But she's also the tension is so high because she's throwing this party at Grey Gardens and everything needs to be together. And you get that this woman is sort of also on the verge of a nervous breakdown. She's trying to be the perfect socialite and her life is not perfect. And her life is slipping away in front of her as the day unravels. And then she gets to play her, you know, and she gets that great, beautiful, like, soaring ballad at the end of Act 1 where she's like, who would ever leave Grey Gardens? And then it cuts to Act 2 where they're like, now she's the daughter and she's crazy. And she's like one of the most camp characters of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, every drag, you know, so many drag queens have played her, but you get to be her. And so she's like, you know, you never wear red shoes on a Thursday. You know, don't go in. It's a mean, nasty Republican town. Like, you get to do that great accent work. And she's so wacky and bizarre, but real. And you root for her.
Yeah.
But then she also gets these beautiful ballads. Like the one I picked for us, does Another Winter in a Summertown. Which they wrote for, obviously, Christine Ebersol, is that, like, lyric soprano. And so, like, when you go into her world, she still is this beautiful, soaring woman. So I think as an actress, you just get to, over the course of those 2 roles, cover so much interesting ground.
And the crazies are so great to play. I mean,
Yeah.
you want the crazies that you're rooting for. You're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, how did we? It's always that, how did we get to this place, which you kind of get to explore in this.
Yeah. So that's, and also if you're a dialect nerd too, what a fun role. Because, you know, the voices. Anyway, shall we? Another Winter in a Summer Town from Grey Gardens.
Another winter in the summertime.
The renters go home.
Yeah.
Because it's
Oh, my
winter.
God.
And that moment in the show is so heartbreaking when she's going to leave. She's finally going to leave, and then the mother is like, eat it! And she just cries, turns around, and walks back in.
Ah! I remember, I'm going to throw, the first time I saw the documentary, Grey Gardens, I'm just going to drop this name here, I went to Jesse Tyler Ferguson's house, to his apartment in Brooklyn. We had a very small
What's his address again?
Yeah, I would imagine he doesn't live there anymore.
Is his neighbor friends with Barry Manilow?
Many years ago, many years ago. And what we did, that we watched Grey Gardens, and I had never seen it, and I had no reference to it. And he was like, you've never seen Grey Gardens, and fascinating. And then to turn, this was kind of the first one that said, hey, let's turn the documentary into a musical. And then we had like Hands on the Hard Body followed suit.
Yeah, War Paint. And now we have Queen of Versailles coming. Yeah.
Wow, right. What an interesting thing, but that kind of started it all.
Yeah. But so good. Okay. Number 2.
This is just you know what? I'm just gonna say this, and because it's impossible. I should stick to my guns, right?
Do it.
I'm so torn.
You had kombucha. Your guts are healthy. Stick to them.
Okay, stick to them. I think my number 2 is going to be Norma Desmond.
Oh, great. I'm glad she made the list.
I think Norma Desmond
She almost made mine.
Far too delicious. It is wild stuff. It's wild stuff. You know, as far as Andrew Lloyd Webber goes, and I was going through this, a lot of the stuff I was attracted to as far as like choosing really great characters to build musicals around. Andrew Lloyd Webber's doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. She's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
Is she a better role overall than Eva Perón? Maybe not. But for this list, I had Norma Desmond / Eva Perón, and I'm going with Norma Desmond.
I think you're going to have more fun playing Norma Desmond than you are Eva Perón. I think you're going to be more tired at the end of Evita, but you're going to have more fun doing Sunset Boulevard.
Absolutely. And it's I want to just age gracefully into being the actress who gets to play Norma Desmond.
Yes.
And now we're going to see her in a totally different light with this crazy Nicole Scherzinger thing coming down the pike. So I'm going to give it to Norma Desmond.
Give it to her.
It's the pictures that got small.
I love
you know
that.
what I mean? Yeah. We'll have to listen to a little As If We Never Said Goodbye.
Yeah.
Everything's as if we never said goodbye. We taught the world new ways
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've come home at last. And I saw,
Who did you see do it?
I saw Elaine Page.
I'm so jealous that you got to see Elaine Page.
She was outrageous. And when we talk about that, I've come home and holding it forever, Elaine Page did that. And I think Betty Buckley was the first one to do that. She wanted to hold that I've come home till the cows come home. I think even the clips I've seen of Shirt Singer, she holds that as well.
Oh yeah. She holds it for a real long time.
Yeah. Because that's the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah.
But it's just so campy and fun and wonderful and deranged, and it's so good. And the fact that I was having to choose between, in my mind, Ava Perón and Norma Desmond, just it's a delicious Patty versus Glenn situation.
Oh,
because I first heard Sunset, the Patty version, so that's what I heard first, and was I cut my teeth on.
Oh. With the Patty version, you cut your teeth on
the Patty version.
On the Patty Lupone Norma Desmond.
On the Patty Lupone melt.
On the Patty Lupone, on the mound of Patty Lupone.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that.
Man. Woof. Okay.
Number 2, only 2 more. Here we go.
Number 2, and again, it's tough because even right now, they're racing through my head of all the amazing characters that did not make this list, because there are just so many.
And they'll be on our bonus episode.
They will be, and we'll talk about them then.
You gotta get on the Patreon.
Get on the Patreon. But I've decided my top 2 are sort of equals, but they're just like the mama and the papa of Broadway. So, but because it's all about the leading ladies, she's gonna be number 1. So the number 2 is Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof.
Great.
I feel like he is, of all the male musical theater Broadway roles, I think Tevye is the guy. I think he is the ultimate Broadway father. He carries that genius show that is Fiddler on the Roof, which we've talked about. That's another character that needs to do it all, sort of like a Dolly Levi, but even deeper. I feel like that he has to be so funny and charming and carry this extremely heavy show, but then go through what he goes through, letting go of his daughters and his status in the town that he's always fighting to be bigger than he is. And then the crushing end when they have to leave. Yeah. And he navigates fatherhood and marriage and aging. And I think it's just one of those truly great. He's the King Lear of musical theater.
I agree with you 100%. And I think what's amazing about the character of Tevye is that we see, and why it's so important that the show starts out with tradition, because we see him through the circumstances, his relationships. He is this kind of beacon of tolerance and love and acceptance and progression.
Yeah.
Where he goes, oh my God, and he's not going to fight and do what a lot of people in real life would do, which is stamp out everything he doesn't understand. Instead, he has to reinvestigate all of it and choose love over anything else, which he does with his wife in Do You Love Me? And, with his daughters. Yeah, bravo.
Thank you. Yeah, the daddy of musical theater, our man Tevye.
Yeah.
Let's do a little If I Were a Rich Man, because I think you can't talk about him not do. I think that song is so him. So we'll do a little.
So him.
Yeah.
So Tevye.
So typical Tevye. Him and his chickens.
Again.
Ay, ay,
all day long I really thought if I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a really rich man.
That song just makes me want to shimmy around a room.
That's what it is.
And also, what does that even mean? Only Tevye really knows what that means to be a.
Yeah, I was really kind of blown away the first time I saw that song printed out in sheet music and saw that it was Dugga Dugga Dugga.
Yeah,
because I just always thought I just thought it was sound. I just thought it was whatever sound your Tevye made, but it's Dugga 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 Dugga.
I like to think that when it was Zero Mostel and they were working out it originally, he came up with that in the moment. I feel like that's one of those actor moments where he was just like it was a mistake gone well.
Right? Yeah.
Like there were other words and he just forgot them and made sounds. And they were like, you know what? That's fun.
That is
and
fun.
they were like, what did you just say? And he was like, zuka, zuka, zuka.
Yeah.
And there we are.
And you're never going to find it. It's such a popular musical, but you're never going to sit through a production where people aren't going to flip their lids after If I Were a Rich Man.
Yeah, it's just one of
I'm
those
thinking about like
songs.
sitting in an audience, like even in a high school auditorium and watching it and just the reaction of people loving that character so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've heard
boy.
they're remaking the movie, by the way, which I don't know who's playing Tevye yet, but there's a rumor mill that they're doing a new movie remake of the musical.
Oh my! And it's Michael Cera.
It's Michael Cera.
Michael Cera
He's playing
as
all the
Tevye.
characters, actually.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, except for the ghost. That's going to be Tilda Swinton. Yeah,
It was always going to be Tilda Swinton.
When is it not Tilda Swinton?
It's always going to be. Well, if it comes to ghosts,
That's true.
it's going to be Tilda.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, number 2, sir.
All right. Number 2. No, I'm on number 1.
Oh, that's right. You're ahead of me.
I have come to it. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and I'm going to blurt it out. And it's with all the humility and pride and the two things at once that I can muster. I think the greatest character in the musical theater canon is the Phantom of the Opera!
Nice.
The Phantom! Come on! He's mysterious. He's sexy. He's deranged. He's a murderer. He loves more deeply than anyone else. He's a genius. He's a trickster. He's an instigator. Did I mention he's a murderer?
He
He's
invented
magic.
capography. If it wasn't for
Oh
him,
my
we
God.
wouldn't have Harry Potter on Broadway.
What would let's be very clear about that, people.
Yeah.
It's just the most magical, romantic, every adjective, it checks the box. It's iconic. You know, there's just nothing more delicious than the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera. It's almost too much to even talk about, I think. And I think when we get down to it, that's it. It's the Phantom is the greatest character. And I've felt that way, as we all know now, whether we like it or not, since I was very, very young.
When you were campaigning in school.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
He's always there.
He is.
Like he's in the musical. He's always
Yeah.
in box 5. And anyone who's going to sing his own name in the first person like that. The Phantom of the Opera is here inside your mind.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, he's saying, I'm so iconic. I'm going to be Shirley Bassey about it and talk about myself in the first person.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And Diana Ross, right?
And Diana Ross.
So I think it's he wants what he wants, and then the whole ending where love wins over and he gives her away in theory, even though he should have never had her. It's very complex and beautiful and crazy and schizoid and nutso and beautiful. So to you, Phantom, to you I give my number 1 greatest character in musical theater. Let's listen to that character sing now.
One of his songs.
Yes.
Where he refers to himself.
In all your fantasies, you always knew that man and mystery
Were both in you, and in this
labyrinth where night is blind. The Phantom of the Opera is there, inside your mind.
There it is. There it is. All right.
Oh, the Phantom of the Opera.
Of the Opry, which is a very
of the
different.
opera.
The Phantom
And
of
to
the
be
Grand
clear,
Old Opry.
This is the Andrew Lloyd Webber, not the Maury Yeston.
I want to be clear
Phantom.
about that, but
His mask is different.
yes, it's
between the
full
two.
faced. It's full faced rather than the half a face.
Yes.
Before you announce your number one and send us all into a tizzy, although I feel very strongly from what you said about...
You know who it is.
I think I know who it is, and I'm so glad because I don't think we could have done this list and kept a straight face if you didn't include this character. But before we do that, just another reminder to be a part of our family, be part of the show by following us on social media at Theater Countdown, Theater with an R-E, because we're sophisticated. Rate and review us. Tell all your friends about us. Share us around the world. You can also join us on Patreon, subscribe on all the platforms, get those bonus episodes because we've got a lot to say, and we've got some stuff we want to share with you as well as our time in our virtual meetups. Consider that $5 a month. Come on, what are you doing? All right.
What are you doing? Okay.
What are you doing? That's my question. What are you doing?
That just became very Catherine Hepburn. That's my question. What are you doing? That's what I'm asking you. Did you know I knew Zazu Pitts? And she always used to say, what are you doing? And I said, I'm tying shoelaces.
Who's Zazu Pitts?
I don't know. An actor.
Is that the last name of the bird from The Lion King? Zazu Pitts?
Maybe. She said, if you're going to be a paper hanger, you have to see The Lion King. Sorry, I'm procrastinating. I'm being Alexandra Billings, being Katharine Hepburn, because I'm putting this off, because this was... Anyway, I don't know why, because this is not hard. It's Mama Rose. No, it's the caboose from Starlit Express. No, it's, it is. It's you on the ski hill. No, it's Mama Rose. If Tevye is the papa of musical theater, Mama Rose is the mother of musical theater. And I almost didn't pick her just because we've talked about Gypsy so much. And it just keeps coming back. And I almost didn't do it, but then I was like, you know what? I guess it's a testament to how great this show and this role is that it keeps coming as like one of the greatest shows of all time. She's one of the greatest 11 o'clock numbers of all time. It all ties into this is one of the greatest roles of all time. And I think there's a reason that every 20 minutes this show is revived with another actress, because every time we have another great musical theater actress like come of age, we want to see what she's going to do with Mama Rose. Right. I think
the whole buzz around Audra McDonald recently,
and which
too.
I'm so sad she just said she's not doing it.
And I'm not sure she ever said it.
I don't think
she may have said it in passing, and the internet was like, yeah.
Yeah, I think she just did Rose's Turn in a bunch of concerts, and people were like, clearly she's doing this. And I think, and I wonder if a lot of producers were like, this is a great idea, and then they never actually asked her, and then when they did, she went, no, I don't want to do that. Which is a shame, because she'd be incredible. But yeah, I think that's why we're all happy to see countless revivals of the show, because it's the show is great, but we want to see every actress's take on it. So I think she's just, as we've said before, she's like Hamlet. You know, it's just one of the great roles. And part of me also almost wanted to pick Louise, because I think it's such an underrated role. Yeah. And I think, as we all learned from Laura Benanti, there's so much more. Louise is really the main character of that show. Yeah. And she's the one that really drives it. But at the end of the day, you got to give it to Mama. She's the Mama.
But that's a whole other countdown too, isn't it? Underrated character.
Underrated. Our top 10 supporting roles or something like that. We have to give some of these people. Lady Tiang will be back.
Don't worry.
But yeah, so our Mama Rose, I know it's a little cliche of a choice, but here we are.
No, but it had to happen. I mean, you're going to argue with the facts? These are the facts.
I know, they are the facts indeed. And there's so many Mama Roses to choose from. So far, we've heard from Ethel Merman, and we've heard from Bernadette Peters. I think this time we should just do our dear friend Patti LuPone, since we didn't hear her Norma Desmond or her Evita. So I think we got to hear her Mama Rose.
Fair enough. Did we not hear her Did we not hear her Norma Desmond? Maybe we did. We don't know.
Wait, which? That's right. Which one did we hear? Goes to show how great my memory is.
No, we don't know. Could be.
Right.
Hit it, Patty.
Da, 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 da. You know what? I got yelled at for doing Mama Rose when I was at the Globe in London.
What?
Yeah, when I was in grad school over there, and we got to go take a workshop class at the Globe Theatre in London with their head of movement. It was very cool. And we got to go on the stage. And when we first got on the stage, she was like, it's this magical space. You know, what's something, if you could do on no other stage, what would you do? And everyone else, I went last, and everyone else in the class, there's only 20 of us, did like these great Shakespearean either soliloquies or monologues. I did Rose's Turn. And the head of my program sat there just shaking her head. And she was like, Michael. And I was like, this is who I am, and I shan't apologize for it.
No, nor should you. That's who you are.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Anyway, we did it. I saw you shut your book very dramatically.
I did. Another chapter down. We'll be back again next week. Thanks, Tory Vagasy. Thank you to you, Juddy. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, friends. Thank you, the Academy. Thank you to Isabel Stevenson. Mm-hmm. Thank you to...
It's brought to you by Shiwi, the two great Kates. And thank you to you, the Phantom of the Countdown.
Yes. I am the Phantom of the Countdown, and you will curse the day you did not do all that I asked of you.
Yeah. I will.
And thank you, of course, to my soulmate or once and future self, who I met on the ski slopes, or Gwyneth Paltrow singing Starlight Express. I'm still here. I'm still looking for you.
You're still here.
And as they say...
What did they say?
Well, what are you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, instead of our normal trying to do a fun, catchy playoff, we should just play off just the soundtrack of Starlight Express. And just imagine you skiing.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
Okay. On that note, have a great day, kids. Happy counting.
Okay. Happy counting! Oh, that's good. All right.